Cymbeline. Cymbeline's first wife died when his 3 children were very young. Imogen, the eldest of these children, was brought up in her father's court. But, by some strange chance, the other 2 children were stolen out of their nursery when the eldest was but 3 years of age and the youngest quite an infant. And Cymbeline could never discover what was become of them or by whom they were conveyed away. Cymbeline's second wife was a wicked, plotting woman. The new queen, though she hated Imogen, yet wished her to marry a son of her own by a former husband. For by this means she hoped upon the death of Cymbeline to place the crown of Britain upon the head of her son, Claude. But this design was prevented by Imogen herself, who married a man called Posthumus without the consent of her father or the queen. Nothing could exceed the wrath of Cymbeline. He commanded Posthumus to leave Britain and banished him forever.
No, be assured, daughter, you shall not find me after the slander of most stepmothers, evil-eyed unto you. You are my prisoner, but your jailer shall deliver you the keys that lock up your restraint. For you, Posthumus, so soon as I can win the offended king, I will be known your advocate.
Please, your highness, a wolf repents today.
You know the peril. I'll fetch a turn about the garden, pitying the pangs of bard affection. Though the king hath charged you should not speak together, if the king comes, I shall incur I know not how much of his displeasure. And yet, I'll move him to walk this way. Oh, pity.
Dissembling courtesy. I'll find the stubborn can tickle where she wounds. My dearest husband, I something fear my father's wrath, but nothing always reserve my holy duty what his rage can do on me. He must be gone.
My queen. Mistress, no lady, weep no more. I shall remain the loyalist husband that erred in plight troth. In my residence in Rome, at one Florios, who to my father was a friend, and to me known but by letter. Thither right, my queen, if mine eyes outdrink the words you send. Adieu.
Nay, stay a little. Look here, love, this diamond was my mother's. Take it, heart. Keep it till you woo another wife when Imogen is dead.
Queen, thou sense will keep it up. Sweetest, fairest, as I my poor self did exchange for you to your so infinite loss. So in our trifles I still win of you. For my sake, wear this. It is a manacle of love. I'll place it upon this fairest prisoner.
When shall we see again?
Thou basest thing! Avoid hence from my sight! If after this command thou flaunt the court with thy unworthiness, thou diest. Away, thou art poison to my blood!
Oh, may God save you, and bless the good remainders of the court. I'm gone.
There cannot be a pinch in death more sharp than this is.
Disloyal thing, that shouldst repair my youth, thou heapest the years, age upon me, past grace, obedience.
Past hope, and in despair that way past grace.
This mightest have had the sole son of my queen.
Oh, blessed that I might not. I chose an eagle and did avoid a puttock.
Thou tookest a beggar, wouldst have made my throne a seat for baseness.
No, I rather added a luster to it. It is your fault that I have loved Posthumus. You bred him as my playfellow.
Thou foolish thing! They have been again together. You have done not after our command. Away with her and get her up!
Beseech your patience. Peace, dear lady daughter, peace.
Nay, let her languish. A drop of blood a day, and being aged, die of this foolishness.
Fie, you must give way. Here is your servant. How now? What news?
My lord, your son drew on my master.
trust is done.
There might have been, but that my master rather played than fought, and had no help of anger. They were parted by gentlemen at hand.
I'm very glad of it.
Your son's my father's friend. He takes his part to draw upon an exile. Why came you from your master? On his command. He would not suffer me to bring him to the haven. Left these notes of what commands I should be subject to, and pleased you to employ me.
This hath been your faithful servant. I dare lay mine honor. She will remain, sir.
I humbly thank your highness.
Pray, walk a while.
Imogen remained a solitary and dejected lady in her father's court, and Posthumus arrived at Rome, the place he had chosen for his banishment. There he fell into company with some men of different nations, each one praising the ladies of his own country and his own mistress. Posthumus, who had ever his own dear lady in his mind, affirmed that his wife, the fair Imogen, was the most virtuous, wise, and constant lady in the world.
Believe it, sirs, I have seen him in Britain. This matter of marrying his king's daughter, wherein he must be weighed rather by her value than his own, warrants him, I doubt not, a great deal from the matter.
And then his banishment.
Aye, and the approbation of those that weep this lamentable divorce under her colors are wonderfully to extend him. But how comes it is he to sojourn with you? How creeps acquaintance?
His father and I were soldiers together. Ah, here comes the Briton now. Let him be so entertained amongst you as suits a stranger of his quality. I beseech you all, be better known to this gentleman.
Sir, we have known together in our yard. Since when? I've been debtor to you for courtesy since I will be ever to pay, and yet pay still.
Sir, you're it my poor kindness. I was glad it had done my countrymen and you. It had been pity you should have been put together with so more to the purpose, as then each bore, upon the importance of so slight and trivial in nature.
Oh, by your pardon, sir. I was then a young traveler, but upon my mended judgment, if I offend not to say that it is mended, my quarrel was not altogether slight.
Can we with manners ask what was the difference? Safely, I think, 'twas a contention in public, which may, without contradiction, suffer the report, It was much like an argument that fell out there last night, where each of us fell in praise of our own country mistresses. These gentlemen at that time, watching is to be more far chaste and less attemptable than any of the rarest of our ladies in France.
Oh, that lady is not now living, or this gentleman's opinion by this worn out.
She retains her virtue still, and I my mind.
Oh, you must not so far prefer her for ours of Italy.
Being so far provoked as I was in France, I abate her nothing, though I confess myself a adorer and not her friend.
Oh, I could not but believe she excelled many, but I have not seen the most precious diamond that is, nor you the lady.
I praised her as I rated her. So do I my stone.
What do you esteem it at?
More than the world enjoys.
Either your unparagoned mistress is dead, or she's outprized by a trifle.
You are mistaken. If the one may be given or sold, the other is not a thing for sale, and only the gift of the gods.
Ooh, you may wear her and title yours, but your ring may be stolen too. A cunning thief or an accomplished courtier would hazard the winning of both first and last.
Your Italy contains none so accomplished a courtier to convince the honor of my mistress.
With 5 times so much conversation, I should get ground of your fair mistress, make her go back even to the yielding, had I admittance and opportunity to friend.
No. No.
Sir, I make my wager rather against your confidence in her reputation, and to bar your offense hereunto, I durst attempt it against any lady in the world.
Gentlemen, enough of this. It came in too suddenly. Let it die as it was born, and I pray you be better acquainted.
What lady would you choose to assail?
Yours, whom in constancy you think stands so safe. I'll lay you 10,000 ducats to your ring that commend me to the court where your lady is, with no more advantage than the opportunity of a second conference, and I'll bring from thence that honor of hers which you imagine so reserved.
I dare you to this match. Here's my ring.
I will have it no way.
By the gods, it is one. If I bring you no sufficient testimony that I have enjoyed the dearest bodily part of your fair mistress, my gold is yours, so too is your diamond. If I come off and leave her in such honor as you have trust in, she your jewel, this your jewel, and my gold are yours.
I embrace these conditions. For let us have articles betwixt us. Articles. Only thus far shall you answer. If you make your voyage upon her and give me directly to understand you have prevailed, I am no further your enemy. If she is not worth our debate. If she remain unseduced, you not making it appear otherwise, your ill opinion and the assault you have made to her chastity, you will answer me with your sword.
Your hand, a covenant. I'll fetch my gold and have our wagers recorded.
Sir. With this all, think you, Signor Iachimo will not from it. Pray, let us follow on.
Now, Master Doctor, have you brought those drugs?
Your Majesty, Here they are, madam. But I beseech your grace without offense. My conscience bids me ask, wherefore you have commanded of me those most poisonous compounds, which are the movers of a languishing death, though slow, deadly.
I wonder, Doctor, thou askest me such a question. Have I not been thy pupil long? I will try the forces of these thy compounds on such creatures as we count not worth the hanging, but none human.
Your Majesty shall from this practice make hard your heart.
Oh, content me. Doctor, thy services for this time have ended. Take your own way. Hark ye, a word.
I do not like her. She doth think she has strange lingering poisons. I do know her spirit, and would not trust one of her malice with a drug of such damned nature. Those she has will stupefy and dull the sense awhile, but there is no harm in what show of death they make, more than the locking up the spirits a time to be more fresh, reviving. She is fooled with a most false effect, and I the truer so to be false with her.
No further services, Doctor, until I send for thee.
I humbly take my leave.
Weeps she still, sayest thou? Dost thou think in time she will not quench and let instruction enter where folly now possesses? Do thy word. When thou shalt bring me word she loves my son, I'll tell thee on the instant, thou art as great as is thy master, greater. For return he cannot, nor continue where he is. Thou takest up thou knowest not what, but take it for thy labor. It is a thing I made, which hath the king 5 times redeemed from death. Nay, I prithee, take it. Tell thy mistress how the case stands with her. Do it as from thyself. Think what a chance thou changest on. But think, thou hast thy mistress still, to boot my son, who shall take notice of thee. I'll move the king to any shape of thy preferment, such as thou desire. Think on my words.
And shall do. But when to my good lord I prove untrue, I'll choke myself. There's all I'll do for you. A father cruel and a stepdame false. A foolish suitor to a wedded lady that hath her husband banished. Oh, that I were thief stolen like my 2 siblings happy. Who may this be? By? Madam, a noble gentleman of Rome comes from my lord with letters.
The worthy Leonatus is in safety and greets your highness dearly.
Thanks, good sir, you're kindly welcome.
All of her that is out of door most rich. Arm me audacity from head to foot, for like the Parthian I shall fly and fight rather directly fly.
He is one of the noblest note, to whose kindnesses I am most infinitely tied. Reflect upon him accordingly as you value your trust, Leonatus. So far I read aloud you are as welcome, worthy sir, as I have words to bid you, and shall find it so in all that I can do.
Thanks, fairest lady. Beseech you, lady, my man's abode where I did leave him, he is strange and peevish.
I was going, sir, to give him welcome. Continues well, my lord, his health, beseech you.
Well, madam.
Is he disposed to mirth? I hope he is.
I've never seen him sad. There is a Frenchman, his companion, one an eminent monsieur that it seems much loves a galleon girl at home. He furnishes the fixed eyes from him, whilst the jolly Briton, your lord, he laughs from free lungs.
My lord, I fear, has forgot Britain.
And himself. Were not I inclined to this intelligence pronounce the vagary of his change, but 'tis your graces that from Penuta's conscience to my tongue charms this report out.
Let me hear no more.
Oh, dearest soul, your cause doth strike my heart with pity that doth make me weep. A lady so fair and fastened to an empery. She revenged, or she that bore you is no queen, and you recoil from no great stock.
Revenged? How should I be revenged?
Should he make me live like Diana's priest betwixt cold sheets, while he's vaulting variable ramps in your despot upon your purse? Revenge it. I dedicate myself to your sweet pleasure more noble than that runagate to your bed, and will continue fast to your affection still close as sure.
Away! I do condemn mine ears that have so long attended thee! Wert thou honorable, thou wouldst have told this tale for virtue, not for such an end thou seekest. Would ho, Pisanio! The king my father shall be made acquainted of thy assault. Would ho, Pisanio!
Oh, happy Leonatus! The credit that thy lady hath of thee deserves thy trust, and thy most perfect goodness her assured credit. Blessed live you long. Be not angry, most mighty princess, that I have ventured to try your taking a false report, which hath honored with confirmation your great judgment in the election of a sir so rare. I pray you pardon.
Make amends, sir.
My humble thanks. I had forgot but to entreat your grace, but in a small request. Yet of moment, too, for it concerns your lord. Myself and other noble friends are partners in the business.
Pray, what is it?
Some dozen Romans of us and your lord, the best feather of our wing, have mingled sums to buy a present for the emperor, which I have done in France. 'Tis plate of rare device and jewels of rich and exquisite form, their values great. May it please you to take them in protection.
Willingly. And since my lord hath interest in them, I'll keep them in my bedchamber.
They are in a trunk, attended by my men. I will make bold to send them to you only for this night, for I must aboard tomorrow.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, madam, I must. Therefore I shall beseech you, if you please, to greet your lord with writing. Do it tonight.
Willingly. Send your trunk to me, and it shall safe be kept and truly yielded you. You're kindly welcome.
Was there ever any man had such luck? When I kissed the jack on the upcast, I had £100 on it, my lady. And then a horse and jackname must take me up for swearing, as if I borrowed meadows from him. Oh, excuse me. And my not spend at my pleasure.
What got you by that? You broke his pate with your bow.
When a gentleman is disposed to swear, is it not for any standers by to curtail his oaths? No, my lord. Horse and dog, I give him satisfaction, where he be one of my rank.
You have smelled like a fool.
I'm not vexed at anything more on the earth. A pox on it. I'd rather not be so noble as I am, for they dare not fight with me, because of the queen, my mother. Every jack hath his belly full of fighting, and I must go up and down like a cock that no one can match.
You are a cock in a capon too, and you crow, cock, with your comb on.
Sayest thou?
It is not fit that your lordship should undertake every companion that you give offense to.
So, I know fit I should give a defense to my inferiors.
Aye, it is fit only for your lordship.
Why, so I say.
Did you hear the stranger that's come to court tonight?
Stranger? I know not on it.
There is an Italian come, and 'tis thought one of Leonatus' friends.
Leonatus! Banished rascal. He's another one of those, whoever he is. Who told you? Who told you of this stranger?
One of your lordship's pages.
Is it fit I went to look upon him? There's no derogation in it.
You cannot derogate, my lord.
Not easily, I think.
You are a fool, granted, and your issues, being foolish, cannot derogate.
Come, I'll go see this, Italian. What I lost today of the bowls, I'll win tonight of him. Come, go.
I'll attend, your lordship.
Ma.
That such a crafty devil as is his mother should yield the world this ass. A woman that bears all down with her brain, and this her son cannot take 2 from 20 for his heart and leave 18. But alas, poor princess, thou divine Imogen, what thou endurest betwixt a father by thy stepdame governed, a mother hourly coining plots, and a wooer more hateful than the foul expulsion is of thy dear husband. The heavens hold firm that thou mayest stand to enjoy the banished lord in this great land.
Iachimo gained admittance and a courteous welcome from Imogen as a friend of her husband. But when he began to make his professions of love, she repulsed him with disdain, and he soon found he could have no hope in his dishonorable design. Iachimo's desire to win the wager made him now have recourse to a stratagem to impose upon Posthumus, and for this purpose, he bribed some of Imogen's attendants.
What hour is it?
Almost midnight, madame.
I have read for nearly 3 hours then. As if hath seized me wholly. To your protection I commend me, gods.
The crickets sing, and man's o'er-labored sense doth repair itself by rest. Our Tarquin thus did softly press the rushes ere he wakened the chastity he wounded. Cythera, how bravely thou becomest thy bed, fresh lily, and whiter than the sheets, that I might touch. But kiss, one kiss, rubies unparagoned, how dearly they do. But my design to note the chamber, I will write all down, such and such pictures. There the window, such the adornment of her bed, and there the contents of the story. But some natural notes about her body above 10,000 meaner movables would testify to enrich mine inventory. For sleep, thou ape of death, lie dull upon her, and be her sense but as a monument, thus in a chapel lie. Slippery as the Gordian knot was hard. And this will witness outwardly as strongly as the conscience does within to the madding of her lord. Ooh. On her left breast, a mole sinks spotted, like the crimson drops at the bottom of a cowslip. Here's a voucher stronger than ever law could make. This secret will force him to think I have picked the lock and ta'en the treasure of her honor. No. More. Why should I write this down? It's riveted, screwed to my memory. I have enough. To the trunk again and shut the spring of it. Swift, swift, you dragons of the night, the dawning may bear the raven's eye. I lodge in fear. Though this a heavenly angel, hell is here. 1, 2, 3. Time.
Your lordship is the most patient man in loss, the most coldest that ever turned up east.
Would make any man cold to lose.
But not every man patient after the noble temper of your lordship. You are most hot and furious when you win.
Winning would put any man into courage. If I could get this foolish Imogen, I should have gold enough. It's almost morning, is it not?
Day, my lord.
Here comes the king.
I'm glad I was up so late. For this reason, I was up so early. You cannot choose but take this as a service I have done fatherly. Good morrow to thy majesty, and to thy gracious mother.
Attend you here the door of our stern daughter, will she not forth?
I have sailed her chamber with music, but she vought to say no notice.
The exile of Imogen is too new, she hath not yet forgotten. Some more time must wear the print of his remembrance out, and then she's yours.
You are most bound to the king, who lets go by no vantages that may prefer you to his daughter.
So like you, sir, ambassadors from Rome. The one is Caius Lucius.
A worthy fellow, albeit he comes on angry purpose now, but that's no fault of his. Our dear son, when you have given good morning to your mistress, attend the queen and us. We shall have need to employ you towards this Roman. Come, our queen.
If she be up, I'll speak with her. If not, let her lie still and dream.
But leave you! Ho!
Who's there that knocks?
A gentleman!
No more?
Yes, and a gentlewoman's son.
That's more. What's your lordship's pleasure?
Your lady's person. Is she ready?
Aye, to keep her chamber.
Oh, let's go for you.
Oh.
Beggar. And there's gold for you. Tell me your good report.
How, my good name? Or to report of you what I shall think is good?
Go.
Good morning. You have a visitor. The princess.
Good morrow, fair sister, your sweet hand.
Good morrow, sir. The thanks I give you is telling that I am poor of thanks and scarce can spare them.
Still, I swear I love you. Believe your madness and my sin, it will not, I will not.
Fools are not mad folks.
Do you call me a fool?
As I am mad, I do. By the very truth of it, I care not for you, and am so near the lack of charity. To accuse myself, I hate you, which I had rather you felt than make it my boast.
You sin against obedience, which you owe your father. For that contract you pretend with that base wretch is no contract. None. Yet you are curbed from that enlargement with the consequence of the crown, and must now soil it with the precious note of a base slave.
Profane fellow, wert thou the son of Jupiter, and no more thou wert too base to be his groom.
Southmont, rot!
He can never meet more mischance but to be but named of thee. His meanest garment, which other hath but clipped his body, is dearer in my respect than all the hairs above thee. Were they all made such men? How now, Bassanio?
His garment? Now the devil!
Helen, Heaney, presently.
His garment!
I am sprited with a fool, frighted and angered worse. Go bid Helen search for a jewel that too casually hath left mine arm. It was thy master's. Shrew me if I would lose it for the revenue of any kings in Europe. I think I saw it this morning. Confident I am last night was on mine arm. It will not be lost. I hope so. Go, search.
You sin against obedience. His meanest garment.
I said it so, sir, and you will make an action of it. Call witness to it.
Oh, I will inform your father.
Oh, your mother too. She is my good lady and will concede, but I hope the worst of me. So I leave you, sir, to the worst of discontent.
I will be revenged. His meanest garments. Well.
Iachimo set off for Rome with great expedition and boasted to Posthumus that Imogen had given him the bracelet and likewise permitted him to pass a night in her chamber. And in this manner, Iachimo told his false tale.
Fear it not, sir. A widower should win the king as I am bold, her honor will remain hers.
What means do you make to him?
Not in. Provide the change of time, wait in the present winter state, and wish that warmer days would come.
See, Iachimo.
The swiftest hearts have posted you by land, and winds of all the comers kissed your sails to make your vessel nimble.
Welcome, sir.
I hope the briefness of your answer made for the speediness of your return.
Sir, your lady is one of the fairest I have looked upon.
Ha ha! There with all the best. Let her beauty look through a casement to lure false hearts, and be false with them.
Here are letters for you.
With a tenor good, I trust.
It's very light.
Was Caius Lucius in the Britain court when you were there?
He was expected then, but not approached.
All is well yet. Sparkles this stone as it was wont? Or is it still too dull for your good wearing?
If I should have lost it, I should have lost the worth of it in gold. For I'd make a journey twice as far to enjoy a second night of such sweet shortness which was mine in Britain, for the ring is one.
Stone's too hard to come by.
Oh, not a whit, your lady being so easy.
Make not, sir, your loss your sport. Hope you know we must not continue friends.
Oh, good sir, we must, if you keep covenant. But I now profess myself the winner of her honor, together with your ring.
You can make an apparent your case of her, and my hand and ring is yours. If not, the assault you have made to her chastity gains or loses your soul or mine, or masterlessly both, who shall find them?
Sir, my circumstances being so near the truth as I must make them, must first induce you to believe.
Oh. Proceed.
First, her bedchamber, where I confess I slept not, but had that which was well worth watching. It was hanged with tapestry of silk and silver, a piece of work so bravely done, so rich, that it did strive in workmanship and value, which I wondered could be so rarely and exactly.
This is true, and this you might have heard of here by me, or by some other.
The chimney is south the chamber. The chimney piece chaste Diane bathing. The roof or the chamber with golden cherubims is fretted. Her andirons, I had forgot them, were two winking cupids of silver, each on 1 foot standing, nicely depending on their
This
brands.
is for honor. Let it be granted you have seen all this, and praise be given to your remembrance. The description of what is in her chamber. Nothing save the wages you have paid.
Then, if you can, be pale. I beg but leave to air this jewel. See? Now 'tis up again. It must be married to that your time, and I'll keep them.
Toad, once more, let me behold it.
Is it that which I left her?
Sir, I thank her that she stripped it from her arm. Her pretty action did outsell her gift, and yet enriched it too. She gave it me and said she prized it once.
Perhaps she plucked it off to send it me.
Oh, she writes so to you, doth she?
No. No. It is true. Here. Take this too. It is a basilisk into mine eye. It kills me to look on it. Let there be no honor where there is beauty, truth, where semblance, love, where there is another man. For the vows of women of no more bondage reach where they are made than they are to the virtues, which is nothing. Above measure false.
Sir, be patient, and take your ring again. 'Tis not yet won. Now, it may be probable she lost it, or one of her women being corrupted hath stolen it from her.
Very true. And so it became mine. Go back, my ring. Render me some corporal sign about her more evident than this, for this was stolen.
By Jupiter, I had it from her arm.
Oh, or do, he swears. Oh, by Jupiter, he swears. 'Tis true. No, keep the ring. The cognizance of her incontinency is this. She hath bought the name of a whore thus dearly. There, take thy hire. All the fiends of hell divide themselves between you!
Sir, be patient! This is not strong enough to believe of one persuaded fellow!
Speak not on it, she hath been colted by him!
If you seek for further satisfying, on her left breast, worthy of the pressing, lies a mole right proud of its most delicate lodging. By my life, I kissed it, and it gave me present hunger to feed again, though full. You remember the stain upon her?
As hell can hold, were there no more but it?
Oh, will you hear more?
That I had her here. Oh, tear her, killing me. I'll go there and do it. I'll go there and do it. In the court, before the king. I'll do something.
Quite besides the government of patience. You have won. Let's follow him and pervert the present wrath he hath against himself.
Oh, with all my heart.
Now say, what would Augustus Caesar with us?
When Julius Caesar, whose remembrance as yet lives in men's eyes, and will to ears and tongues be theme and hearing ever, was in this Britain, and conquered it, Cymbeline, thine uncle, famous in Caesar's praises, no whit less than in his feats deserving it, for him and his succession granted Rome a tribute, yearly 3,000 pounds, which finally lately is left untendered.
Come, there's no more tribute to be paid. Our kingdom is stronger than it was before. As I said, there's no more such Caesars. Many among us who can gripe as hard as Cymbeline. I do not say I am one, but I have a hand. Why tribute? Why should we pay tribute?
You must know, until the injurious Romans did extort this tribute from us, we were free. Caesar's ambition did put the yoke upon us, which to shake off becomes a warlike people, whom we reckon ourselves to be.
We do. I am sorry, Cymbeline, that I am to pronounce Augustus Caesar thine enemy. War and confusion. In Caesar's name, pronounce I against thee. Look for fury not to be resisted. Thus defied, I thank thee for myself.
Thou art welcome, Caius. Thy Caesar knighted me. My youth I spent much under him. Of him I gathered honor, which he, to seek of me again perforce, behooves me keep at utterance.
His Majesty bids you welcome. Make pastime with us, a day, or two, or longer. If you seek us afterwards, in other terms, you will find us in our saltwater girdle. If you can beat us out of it, it's yours. If you fall in the adventure, our crows shall fare the better of you. And there's an end.
So, sir.
I know your master's pleasure, and he mine. The remain is welcome.
Posthumus then in a jealous rage wrote to Bassanio, and after telling her what proof he had of his wife's disloyalty, he desired Bassanio would take Imogen to Milford Haven, a seaport of Wales, and there kill her. And at the same time he wrote a deceitful letter to Imogen, desiring her to go with Bassanio, but that finding he could live no longer without seeing her, though he was forbidden upon pain of death to return to Britain, he would come to Milford Haven, at which place he begged she would meet him. Providence strangely directed Imogen's steps close to the dwelling of her two siblings, who had been stolen away in their infancy. Belarius was a lord in the court of Cymbeline, who had been falsely accused of treason. Cymbeline banished Belarius, and in revenge, he stole the infants and brought them up in a forest. He soon loved them as tenderly as if they had been his own children.
Oh, a goodly day not to keep house with such whose roofs as low as ours. Hail thou, fair heaven! We house in the rock, but use thee not so hardly as prouder livers do.
Hail heaven!
Hail heaven!
Now for a moment, sport. Up to yond hill. Your legs are young, I'll tread these flats. Consider, when you above perceive me like a crow, that it is place which lessens and sets off. Then you may revolve what tales I have told you, of courts, of princes, of the tricks in war. This service is not service so being done, but being so allowed. This world is nobler than attending for a check, richer than doing nothing for a bauble, prouder than rustling an unpaid for silks. Such gain the cap of him that makes him fine, but keeps his books uncrossed. No life to ours.
Out of your proof you speak. We poor unfledged have never winged from view of the nest, nor know not what errs from home. Happily this life is best, if quiet life be best. Sweeter to you that have a sharper known, but unto us it is a cell of ignorance, a traveling a bed, a prison for a dead that not dare to stride a limit.
Oh, what should we speak of when we are as old as you?
As old as...
We have seen nothing. We are beastly, subtle as the fox for prey, warlike as the wolf for what we eat. Our valorous to chase what flies, our cage we make aquarius doth the prison bird, and sing our bondage freely.
How you speak! Did you but know the city's usuries and felt them knowingly? Oh, this story the world may read in me. My body's marked with Roman swords, and my report was once first with the best of note. Cymbeline loved me, and when a soldier was the theme, my name was not far off. Then was I as a tree whose boughs did bend with fruit. But in one night, a storm or robbery, call it what you will, shook down my mellow hangings, nay, my leaves, and left me bare to weather.
Uncertain favor!
My fault being nothing as I have told you all, but that two villains whose false oaths prevailed before my perfect honor, swore to Cymbeline that I was confederate with the Romans! So followed my banishment. And this 20 years, this rock and these domains have been my home, where I have lived in honest freedom, paid more pious debts to heaven than all the forend of my time. But up to yon mountain, I'll meet thee in the valleys. Run! How hard it is to hide the sparks of nature. These two know little that they are children to the king, nor Cymbeline dream that they are alive. They think they are mine. This Polydor, the heir of Cymbeline and Britain, whom the king his father called Gadarius. The other, Cadwal, once Arviragus, in his like a figure. Cymbeline,
Cymbeline, heaven and my conscience knows thou didst unjustly banish me. Whereat, at 3 and 2 years old, I stole these babes. Myself, Valerius, that am Morgan called, they take for natural father. Tip-top, the game is up.
Run!
Oh, yes.
You told me when we came from horse, the place was near at hand. Ne'er longed my mother so to see me first as I have now. Bassanio, what's the matter? Why tenders thou that paper at me with a look untender?
Please you read, and you shall find me, wretched dame, a thing the most disdained of fortune.
Thy mistress Bassanio hath played the strumpet in my... My mistress Bassanio hath played the strumpet in my bed. Testimonies whereof lie bleeding in me. I speak not out of weak surmises, but out of proof as strong as my grief and as certain as I expect my revenge. That part thou, Bassanio, must act for me if thy faith be not tainted with the breach of hers. Take her life into thine hands, I shall give thee opportunity at Milford Haven. She hath a letter for the purpose where if thou fear to make me certain it is done, thou art a pander to her dishonor, equally to me disloyal.
What shall I need to draw a sword? The paper hath cut her throat already. No, 'tis slander whose edge is sharper than the sword. What cheer, madam?
False. What is it to be false to his bed? To lie there and watch and to think on him. To break it with a fearful dream and cry myself awake. That's false to his bed, is it?
Alas, good lady.
False. Conscience, witness. Iachimo, thou didst accuse him of incontinency. Then thou lookst like a villain. Now methinks thy favor's good enough. Some jay of Italy whose mother was her painting hath betrayed him. Poor. I am still a garment out of fashion, and for I am richer than to hang by the walls, I must be ripped to pieces with me. Men's vows are women's traitors. All good seeming by thy revolt, O husband, shall be thought put upon for villainy, not born where girls, but worn a bait for ladies.
Good madam, hear me.
Come, lady, be thou honest, when thou seest him a little witness of my obedience. Look, I draw the sword myself. Here, take it, strike the innocent mansion of my love, my heart. Fear not, 'tis empty of all things but grief. Thy master is not there, who was once the very riches of it. Do his bidding, and strike. Thou mayst be valiant in a better cause, but now thou seemest a coward.
Hence! Vile instrument, thou shalt not damn my hand.
Why, lady? If I die not by thy hand, then thou art no servant of thy master's. Against self-slaughter there is a prohibition so divine that cravens my weak hand. Come, some fiends afore, prithee, the lamb entreats the butcher. Where's thy knife? Thou art too slow to do his bidding when I desire it to.
Most gracious lady, since I received command to do this business, I have not slept one wink.
Do it into bed then.
Awake mine eyeballs blind first.
Wherefore then didst thou undertake it? Why hast thou abused so many miles with the pretense this place, mine action and thine own?
But to win time, to lose so bad employment, in the which I have considered of a course. Good lady, hear me with patience.
Talk that tongue weary. I have heard that I am a strumpet, and my ear there and false struck can take no greater wound nor tent to bottom that.
Then, madam, I thought you would not back again.
Most like bringing me here to kill me.
Not so neither. But if I were as wise, as honest, then my purpose would prove well. It cannot be but that my master is abused. Some villain, aye, and singular in his art, hath done you both this cursed injury. I'll give but notice you are dead, and send some bloody sign of it, for 'tis commanded I should do so. You shall be missed at court, and that will well confirm it.
Why, good lady, what shall I do the whereby, how live? Or in my life what comfort when I am dead to my husband?
If you'll back to the court.
No court. No father, nor no more ado with that harsh, noble, simple nothing that clod, whose love suit hath been as fearful to me as a siege.
If not at court, then not in Britain must you bide.
Where then?
The ambassador, Lucius Roman comes to Milford Haven tomorrow, if you could wear a mind dark as your fortune is, but disguise that which to appear itself must not yet be but by self-danger, you should tread a course, pretty and full of view, yea, haply near the residence of Posthumus, so nigh at least that though his actions were not visible, yet report should render him hourly to your ear as truly as he moves.
Oh, for such means, though peril to my modesty, not death unto it, I would adventure.
Well then, here's the point. You must forget to be a woman. Change command into obedience, fear and niceness into waggish courage, ready and jibes, quick answered, saucy and as querulous as the weasel, and forget those laborsome and dainty trims wherein you made great Juno angry.
Nay, be brief. I see unto thy end, and almost a man already.
First, make yourself but like one. For thinking this, I have already fit. 'Tis in my cloak bag, doublet, hat, hose, all that answer to them. Would you in their serving, and with what imitation you can borrow from youth of such a season, for noble Lucius, present yourself, desire his services, tell him wherein you're happy. Doubtless with joy he will embrace you, for he's honorable, and doubling that most holy. Your means abroad you have me rich, and I will never fail, beginning nor supplement.
Thou art all the comfort I'll be dieted with. Prithee away.
We must take a short farewell, lest being missed I be suspected of your carriage from the court. My noble mistress, here's a vial.
No, no!
I had it from the queen. What's in it is precious. If you are sick at sea or stomach qualmed at land, a dram of this will drive away distemper to some shade and fit you to your manhood. May the gods direct you to the best.
Amen, I thank thee.
Thus far. And so farewell.
Thanks, royal sir. My emperor hath wrote I must from hence, and am right sorry that I am to report you my master's enemy.
Our subjects, sir, will not endure his yoke, and for ourselves, to show less sovereignty than they, must needs appear unkinglike.
So, sir, I desire review conduct over land to Milford Haven.
My lords, you are appointed for that office, and so farewell, noble Lucius.
Your hand, my lord.
Receive it friendly, but from this time forth, I wear it as your enemy.
Sir, the event is yet to name the winner. Fare you well.
Lucius hath wrote already to the emperor how it goes here. It fits us therefore rightly, our chariots and our horsemen be in readiness.
'Tis not sleepy business, but must be looked to speedily and strongly.
Our expectation that it would be thus hath made us forward. But my gentle queen, where is our daughter? She hath not appeared before the Roman, nor to us hath she given the duty of the day. Call her before us. We have been too slight in our sufferance.
Royal sir, since the exile of Posthumus most retired hath her life been, the cure whereof, my lord, 'tis time must you. Beseech your majesty, forbear sharp speeches to her. She is a lady so tender of rebukes that words are strokes, and strokes death to her.
Where is she? How shall this be answered?
Please you, sir? Her chambers are all locked. There is no answer that will be given to the loudest noise we make.
Her door's locked. Grant heaven that which I fear prove false.
That woman of hers, Bassanio, her servant, I have not seen these 2 days.
Go look after. Bassanio, thou that standest so for Posthumus. She hath a drug of mine. I pray her absence proceed by swallowing that, for she believes it is a thing most precious. But for Imogen, where has she gone? Happily, despair hath seized her, or she's flown to her Posthumus. Gone she is, to death or to despair,
and my end can make good use of either. She being down, I have the placing of the British crown.
Oh.
How now, my son?
Oh, 'tis certain she fled. Go cheer the king. He rages, and none dare come about him. Imogen. I love her, and I hate her. For she's fair and royal, I love her therefore, but disdaining me, and throwing favors on the lowly posthumous, slanders so her judgment, that what else is rare is, choked. And in that point I will conclude to hate her. Nay, indeed, to be revenged upon her, for fool shall, Who's there? Come hither. Where is thy lady? In a word, or thou art straight away with the fiends?
Oh, good, my lord.
Where is thy lady? Or by Jupiter, I'll have the secret from your heart, or rip your heart to find it. Is she with Posthumus?
Alas, my lord, how can she be with him? He is in Rome.
Discover where thy lady is. Speak, or thy silence is thy instant condemnation and thy death.
Well then, this paper is the history of my knowledge touching her flight.
Let's see it. I'll follow her even to Augustus's throne.
Or this, or perish. She's far enough, and what he learns by this may prove his travel, not her danger. I'll write to my lord she's dead. Oh, Imogen, safe mayst thou wander, safe return again.
Is this letter true?
Sir, as I think.
It's Posthumus's hands. I know it. Wench, if thou wouldst not be done, but do me true service, undergo those employments wherein I should have cause to use thee in a serious industry. That is villainy, so I bid thee do. Perform it directly, truly.
Well, my good lord.
Wilt thou serve me?
Sir, I shall.
Has any of thy late master's garments in thy possession?
I have, my lord, at my lodging the same suit he wore when he took leave of my lady and mistress.
First service thou dost me, fetch that suit. Hither, let it be thy lend service. Go!
Shall, my lord?
Meet me at Milford, I would these garments come. She said, very bitterness of it I belched from my heart. She held the garment of Posthumus in more respect than my noble, natural person and the adornments of my qualities. With that suit on my back, I will ravish her. First, kill him, and in her eyes she shall see my valor. That which shall be a torment to my contempt. He on the ground, my speech of insult intended over his dead body. And when my lust have died, which as I say to vex her, I'll perform in the clothes that she so praised. To the court I'll knock her back, put her home again. How long since she went to Milford Haven? Huh.
She can scarce be there yet.
Bring this affair to my chamber. That is the second thing I have commanded of thee. The third, that thou wilt be a voluntary mute in my disguise. My revenge is at Milford Haven. I would have wings to follow it. Come, and be true.
At the cave where these youths dwelt, it was Imogen's fortune to arrive. She had lost her way in a large forest through which her road lay to Milford Haven, from which she meant to embark for Rome. And, being unable to find a place where she could purchase food, she was with weariness and hunger, almost dying. Seeing this cave, she entered, hoping to find someone within of whom she could procure food.
Oh, I see a man's life is a tedious one. I have tired myself, and for 2 nights together have made the ground my bed. I should be sick, but that my resolution helps me. Milford, when from the Mount Tapasanio showed thee thou wast within akin. I think foundations fly the wretched, for such I means where they should be relieved. punishment or trial. It's no wonder one's rich ones scarce can tell truth. To lapse in fullness is sorer than to lie for need, and falsehood is worse in kings than in beggars. My husband, thou art one of the false ones. Now I think on thee my hunger's gone. But even before I was at a point to sink for food. But what's this? Here's a path to it. Ho! Who's there? If anything that's civil, speak. If savage, take our land. Ho! Ho! No answer? Then I'll enter.
You, Polydor, have proved best woodsman and our master of the hunt. Cadwal and I shall play cook and servant. Now peace be here, poor house that keeps thyself.
I am thoroughly weary.
Oh, I am weak with toil, yet strong in appetite.
There's cold meat in the cave. We'll browse on that and whilst what we have killed, we cooked.
Stay, come not in.
What's the matter, sir?
By Jupiter, an angel, or if not, an earthly paragon.
Good masters, harm me not. I called and thought, before I entered, and thought to have begged or bought what I have took. I have stolen not, nor would not, though I had seen gold strewed in the floor. Here's money for my meat. Would have left it on the board so soon as I had made my meal, and parted with prayers for the provider.
Money, youth?
Well, gold and silver rather turned to dirt.
I see you're angry. No, if you kill me for my fault, I should have died had I not made it.
Whither bound?
To Milford Haven.
What's your name?
Fidel, sir.
Prithee, fair youth, think us no churls, nor measure our good minds by this rude place we live in. Well encountered. 'Tis almost night. You shall have better cheer ere you depart, and thanks to stay and eat it.
Were you a woman, youth? I should woo hard but to be your groom.
I'll make it my pride. He is a man. I'll love him like a brother. Be sprightly for you fall amongst friends.
We'll go dress our hunt. Fair youth, come in. Discourse is heavy fasting. When we have supped, we'll manfully demand thee of thy story so far as thou wilt speak it.
I am near their meeting place. Bassanio hath napped it truly. How fit his garments serve me. Why should his mistress that was made by him that made the tailor not be fit too? I mean, my lines are as well drawn as his. Yet that imperceivement thing seems to love him in my despite. Now, what morality is? Posthumus, thy head which is growing upon thy shoulders shall within the hour be off. Thy mistress enforced, thy garment ripped to pieces before thy face, and all this said and done, spurred her home to her father, who may happily be a little angry for my rough usage. But my mother, holding power over his testiness, shall turn all to my commendations. This is the very description of their meeting place. Well,
You're not well. Remain here in the cave. We'll come to you after hunting.
Go you to hunting. I'll abide with him.
I am ill, but your being by me cannot amend me. Society is no comfort to one not sociable. I am not very ill since I can reason a bit. Pray, trust me here. I would not steal from anyone and let me die stealing so poorly.
Well, your health so please you, sir.
I wish you sport.
Yeah, along our way.
Gods, what lies I have heard. Our courtiers say all savage but at court. Experience thou disprovest report. I am sick still. Heartsick. Bassanio, I'll now taste of thy drug.
No! No!
To the field. To the field. We'll leave you for this while. Go in and rest.
Will not be long away.
Well or ill, I am bound to you.
And shalt be ever. It is great morning. Come away. Who's here?
I cannot find those renegades. That villain hath mocked me. I am faint.
Renegades. Means he not us?
partly know him. 'Tis Claughton, the son of the queen. I fear some ambush.
You and my sister search what companies are near. Pray you away. Let me alone with him.
Soft. What are you that fly me thus? Some villainous mountaineer? I've heard of such. What slave art thou?
A thing more slavish did I near than answering a slave without a knock.
Villainous base? Hear but my name and tremble.
What's thy name?
Claughton. Thou villain. I am son to the queen.
I'm sorry for not seeming so worthy as thy birth.
Art thou not afraid?
At fools I laugh, not fear them.
Die to the death! Shield, rustic mountaineer!
No companies abroad.
None in the world. You did mistake them, sure.
Cannot tell. Long is it since I saw him, but time hath nothing blurred those lines of favor which then he wore. I am absolute 'twas very Claughton.
Oh, in this very place we left them. I wish my brother would make good time with him. You say he is so proud?
This Claughton was a fool. An empty purse. There was no money in it. Not Hercules could have knocked out his brains, for he had none.
What hast thou done?
I'm perfect, what? Cut off one Claughton's head, son to the queen, after his own report. Who called me traitor?
We are all undone.
Why, worthy father? What have we to lose? But that he swore to take our lives? The law protects not us.
Oh, let ordinance come as the gods foresay it. Howsoever, my brother hath done well.
With his own sword, which he did a wave against my throat, I obtained his head from him. I'll throw it into the creek behind our rock and let it to sea, and tell the fishes he's the queen's son, Claughton.
Well, 'tis done. We'll hunt no more today, nor seek for danger where there's no price. I prithee to our rock. Fidel and you shall play the cooks. I'll stay till hasty Polydor return, and presently bring him to dinner. It is strange what Clun's being here pretends, or what his death will mean to us.
Where's my sister? I've sent Clun's clock pole downstream in embassy of his mother. His body's hostage for his return.
Oh, no. No!
But, hark, my ingenious instrument. How Polydor it sounds, but what occasion hath Cadwell now to give it motion? Hark!
What does she mean? Since the death of my dearest mother, it did not speak before. All solemn things should answer solemn accidents. Is Cadwell mad?
When she comes and brings the dire occasion in her arms of what we blame her for.
Oh, the bird is dead that we have made so much on.
Oh, oh, melancholy! Jove knows what man thou mightst have made. Now, thou diest, a most rare boy of melancholy. How found you him?
Stark as you see. I thought you'd but slept and took my clouded robes from off my feet, whose rudeness answered my step too loud.
Why, he but sleeps. If he be gone, he'll make his grave a bed.
With fairest flowers, while summer lasts and I live here. Fidel, sweet thy sad grave.
Let us bury him, and not protract with admiration what is now due debt.
Say where shall lay him.
Great griefs, I see, medicine less. For Claughton is quite forgot. He was a queen's son. And though you slew him as our enemy, let us bury him as a prince.
If you'll go fetch him, we'll say our song of lost. Brother, begin.
Fear no more the heat of the sun, nor thy furious winter's wages. Thou thy worldly task hast done, home art gone, and ta'en thy wages.
Heed no more the frown of the great. Thou art past the tyrant's stroke. Care no more to cloak and eat. To thee the reed is as an oak.
No exerciser harm thee.
Nor no witchcraft charm thee.
Ghost unlaid forbear thee.
Nothing ill come near thee.
Quiet consummation have.
Renowned be thy grave.
We have done our obsequies. Come, lay him down.
Here's a few flowers. But about midnight more, come way apart upon our knees. The ground that gave them first has them again. Their pleasures here are past. So are their pains. Come, away.
Yes, sir, to Milford Haven. Beyond yon bush. How far thither? Soft. No bedfellow. Oh. These flowers are the pleasures of the world. This bloody man, the care on it. I hope I dream for so. I thought I was a cave keeper and cook to honest creatures. But 'tis not so. Headless man. Garments of Posthumus? Oh, I know this is his leg, this his hand, his foot Mercurial, his martial thigh, the bronze of Hercules. Oh, his jovial face. Murder in heaven, how? Which is gone. Bassanio, thou hast conspired with that irregulous devil clown as here cut off, my lord! But how? Bassanio, the drug which she gave me, did she not say that it was precious and cordial to me, and have I not found it murderous to the senses? Confirms it home this deed is Bassanio's and Cloten's. Oh, my lord. My lord.
What news from Rome?
The Senate has stirred the confiners and gentlemen of Italy, most willing spirits that promise noble service. And they come under the conduct of bold Iachimo, Senya's brother.
When expect you then?
With the next benefit of the way.
This forwardness makes our hopes fair. Command our present numbers be mustered. Bid the captains look to it. So, what drunk is here without his tongue? The ruin speaks that sometime it was a worthy building. How? A page. Let's see the boy's face.
He's alive, my lord.
He'll then instruct us of this body. Young one, inform us of thy fortunes, for it seems they crave to be demanded. Who is that thou makest thy bloody pillow? What's thy interest in this sad wreck? How came it? Who is it? What art thou?
Nothing. Or if not that nothing to be were better. This was my master, a very valiant Briton, and a good that hereby mountaineers lie slain.
Say his name, good friend.
Richard Duchamp.
Thy name?
Fidel, sir.
Thou dost approve thyself the very same. Thy name fits well thy faith thy name. Well, take thy chance with me.
I will follow, sir. And it please ye, I'll hide my master from the flies and dig as deep as these poor pickaxes can bury.
Aye, good youth. My friends, the boy has taught us manly duties. Let us find out the prettiest daisy plot we can, and make him, with our pikes and partisans, a grave. Come, arm him. Boy, he is preferred by thee to us, and he shall be interred as soldiers can.
The Roman army had landed to invade Britain, and though Posthumus came over to Britain with the Roman army, he did not mean to fight on their side against his own countrymen, but intended to join the army of Cymbeline and fight in the cause of his king who had banished him. He still believed Imogen false to him, and therefore he desired either to be slain in battle or put to death by Cymbeline for returning home from banishment.
so richly fought, whose naked breast stepped before charges of proof cannot be found.
I never saw such noble fury in so poor a thing.
No tidings of him.
He hath been searched among the dead and living, but no trace of him.
Oh, to my grief, I am heir of his reward, which I will add to you, the liver, heart, and brain of Britain, by whom I grant she lives. 'Tis now time to ask of whence you are. Well, report it.
In Cambria are we born. To boast further, we're neither true nor modest. Unless I add that we are honest.
Bow your knees, and rise, my knights to the battle. I do create you companions to our person, and will fit you with dignities becoming your estates.
Hail, great king!
There's business in these faces. Why so sadly greet you our victory?
To sour your happiness, I must report the queen is dead.
Who worse than a physician would this report become? How ended she?
Horror! Madly dying like her life, which being cruel to this world, concluded most cruel to herself. Once she confessed, I will report, so please you.
Oh, prithee, say.
First, she confessed she never loved you, only affected greatness got by you. Married your royalty, was wife to your place, abhorred your person.
She alone knew this, and but she spoke it dying. I would not believe her lips imparting it. Proceeds.
Your daughter, whom she bore in hand to love with such integrity, she did confess was as a scorpius to her sight, whose life, but that her flight prevented it, she had ta'en off by poison.
Oh, most delicate fiend, who is it can read a woman? Heard you all of this?
Did so please your highness?
Mine eyes were not in fault, for she was beautiful. Thou comest not, Caius, now, thou comest not, Caius, now for money that the Britons have raised out, though with loss of many a bold one, whose kids have made suit that their good souls shall be appeased with slaughter of you, their captives, which ourself have granted. So look to your estate.
Consider, sir, the chance of war. The day was yours by accident, but since the gods would have it thus, that nothing but our lives may be called ransom, let it come. This one thing only. I will entreat my boy, a Briton born. Let him be ransomed. He hath done no Briton harm.
Surely I know him, for his figure is familiar to me. Live, and ask of Cymbeline what boon thou wilt.
I will speak with you, sir, in private, if it please you give me hearing.
I, with all my heart, and lend my best attention.
Is not this boy revived from death?
But we saw him dead.
Stay, let us see further.
Stand thou by my side, make thy demand aloud. Sir, step you forth, give answer to this boy, and do so freely.
By boon is that this gentleman will render of whom he had this ring.
That diamond upon your finger, say how came it yours?
Thou torture me to leave unspoke that which to be spoke would torture thee.
How, me?
It was Leonatus' jewel whom thou didst banish. Wilt thou hear more, my lord?
Oh, that belongs to this.
This noble posthumous, most like a noble lord in love, and one that had a royal lover, took his heed. Your daughter's chastity, there it begins. He spake of her whereat I, wretch, made scruple of his praise, wagered with him pieces of gold against this which then he wore upon his honored finger, to attain and suit the place up's bed and win this ring by hers and mine adultery. He, true knight, no lesser of her honor confident than I did truly find her, stakes this ring. Away to Britain post I in this design, and to be brief, my practice so prevailed, that I returned with similar proof enough to drive the noble Leonatus man, by wounding his belief in her renown, with tokens thus and thus. Whereupon methinks I see him now.
Aye, so thou dost, Italian fiend. My posthumous that killed thy daughter. Villain like, I lie, the cause a lesser villain than thyself, a sacrilegious thief to do it. The temple of virtue was she. That Imogen.
Oh, peace, my lord, here.
What else called for page? Who shalt have a play of this? There! Lie now!
Gentlemen, help mine and your mistress! My lord Posthumus, you ne'er killed Imogen till now. Help mine honor
This world
lady!
go round if this be so. The gods do mean to strike me to death with joy.
How fares thy mistress? Oh, get thee from my sight! Thou gavest me poison, dangerous that he has breathed out where princes are. Oh, lady, the gods throw stones of sulfur on me. If that vial was not thought by me a precious thing, I had it from the queen.
Oh, gods! I left out importuned me to temper poisons for her. I, dreading that her purpose was of more danger, did compound for her a certain stuff, which being taken ta'en would cease the present power of life. But, in short, all offices of life should again do their due functions. Have you ta'en it?
Most like I did, for I was dead.
No, you were only mostly dead.
Now I see our mistake.
Hang there like a fruit, and my soul till the tree die.
How now? What, my flesh, my child? What, makest thou me a dullard in this act? Wilt thou not speak to me?
Your blessing, sir.
My tears that fall prove holy water on thee, Imogen. My mother's dead.
I'm sorry for it, my lord.
She was not, but her son is gone. We know not how or where.
Let me end that story. I slew him at Milford.
He was a prince!
A most uncivil one! The wrongs he did me were nothing prince-like. I cut off his head, and I'm right glad he's not standing here to tell this tale of mine.
I am sorry for thee by thine own tongue. Thou art condemned and must endure our laws. Thou art dead.
No! Stay, Sir King! This man is better than the man he slew. And as well-derived as thyself. And hath more of thee merited than a band of plunds ever had scar for.
What, old man, will you undo the work thou art unpaid for by tasting of our wrath? How of descent as good as we?
Thou hadst, great king, a subject who was called Valerius.
Oh, what of him? He is a banished traitor. Take him hence. The whole world shall not save him.
Not so hot! First, pay me for the nursing of thy children.
The nursing of my children?
These two nobles who call me father and think they are mine own are none of mine. They are the issue of your loins, my liege, and blood of your begetting.
How? My issue?
So sure as you your fathers. Myself, old Morgan, am that Valerius whom you sometime banished. These nobles for such and so they are. These 20 years have I trained up. Those arts they have as I could put into them. My breeding was, sir, as your highness knows. Sir, here are your two children again. And I must lose two of the sweetest companions in the world.
Thou weepest and speakest. The duty you three have done is more unlike than this thou tellest. I lost my children, if these be they. I know not how to wish a worthier pair of children. Imogen, thou hast lost by this a kingdom.
Oh, no, my lord, I have got 2 worlds by it. Oh, say thus, have we thus met? Never say hereafter, but I am true speaker. You called me brother when I was yet your sister.
Did you e'er meet?
Ay, my good lord.
And at first meeting loved, until we thought she had died.
Oh, rare instinct. See how posthumous anchors upon Imogen, and she, like harmless lightning, throws her eye on him, her brother, me, her master, hitting each object with a joy. The counterchange is severally in all. Let us quit this place and smoke the temples with our sacrifices. You are my brother, so will hold thee ever. The forlorn soldier that so nobly fought, he would have well become this place and graced the thankings of a king.
I am, sir, the soldier that should accompany these three. In poor Isiminger, 'twas a fitment for the purpose I then followed, that I was he.
Speak!
Iachimo, for I had you down and might have made you finish.
I am down again, but now my heavy conscience sinks my knees than your force did. Take that life, beseech you, which I so often owe. First, your ring. And the bracelet of the truest princess that ever swore her faith.
Kneel not to me. You're the power that I have over you is to spare you. The malice toward you to forgive. Go live. And deal with others better.
Nobly doomed. We'll learn our freeness of a son-in-law. Pardon is the word to all.
Oh, you hope us, sir, as you did mean indeed to be our brother. Joyed we are that you are.
A peace we will begin. Caius Lucius, although the victor, we do submit to Caesar and the Roman Empire, promising to pay our wonted tribute, from the which we were dissuaded by our wicked queen, whom the heavens, in justice on her and hers, hath laid most heavy hands.
Cymbeline forgave old Valerius, for who could think of anger at a time of such universal happiness? To find his daughter and his lost children in the persons of the people that had fought so desperately in his defense was unlooked-for joy indeed. Imogen was now at leisure to perform good services for her late master, the Caius Lucius, whose life the king granted by her request, and by a mediation of the same, a peace was granted between Rome and Britain that remained inviolate many years.